What's up, guys? So I'm here in the mission mode in the dojo of Guilty Gear Strive, and there are a lot of missions in this game, and they are pretty good at teaching you the different mechanics, some basic strategies and tactics and stuff like that, but there are some more obscure, one might say hidden or secret mechanics in this game that are not covered anywhere in this mission mode. So today we're going to be going through a list of 7 mechanics that I think might be useful for you to know if you're trying to learn Guilty Gear Strive and all its many intricacies. So stick around and make sure that you learn these tips before you start taking the game really seriously and trying to get the Celestial rank. So let's jump right into the list. Guys, before we get into it, I want to shout out the sponsor for today's video, Boxu. Boxu is a Japanese snack box subscription service that will bring a box full of authentic Japanese snacks straight to your door. The snacks are specifically selected to fit each month's theme. The theme of this box is summer fruits. It's getting hot out there in Japan and over here, so I'm cooling down with some refreshing fruit-flavored snacks. This box is stuffed with an insane number of items in here. And there's a guidebook that will explain the history and origin of each item, as well as where in Japan it comes from. One that I'm really obsessed with are these Suica watermelon gummies. How cute are these? I've worked with Boxu a bunch of times on my channel before, but this time is extra special because now if you use the link below and the coupon code JMCrofts20, you will get an entire 20% off your first order. That is actually a ridiculous deal, guys. So thank you guys for using that link, and thank you once again to Boxu for sponsoring the channel. Okay, so first up, I want to talk about 6P, or forward P. 6P in numpad notation is forward plus punch. And the game does tell you this functions well as an anti-air move. But that's not all this move is good for, guys. Now here is but a brief sampling of things that 6P will be. Because it has upper body invincibility, so if you're having trouble with a specific move, particularly one that hits sort of in the upper body of your body, go ahead and try out. Maybe 6P will work. You never know. Alright, next up I want to talk about waking up. So when the opponent is waking up off the ground, obviously you want to pressure them because you're at advantage. You want to take initiative. But here's something important to note. When the opponent wakes up, they are throw invincible for a handful of frames when they get up. They simply cannot be thrown by normal throws or command throws. So oftentimes when the opponent's waking up, it's better to go for what's called a tick throw, where you can attack them right as they get up and then go into a throw or some other kind of mix-up afterwards. You can, of course, just do a slight delay and then throw them, but you gotta watch out because if they're pressing a fast normal, they're gonna have time to hit you before the throw. So generally, throwing the opponent right when they wake up, not the best strategy. You're better off just pressuring with something else and trying to mix them up that way. Alright, so next up I want to talk about chip damage. So as you probably know, pretty much all specials and supers do chip damage. And you might be thinking, okay, he's really low. If I block another one of those, it's probably going to kill me, right? But it's actually not going to, because there is a special mechanic in this game where you cannot die to chip unless you are on literally your last pixel of health. You have to be at the smallest imaginable amount of health. But of course, if they have some kind of multi-hit move, that is going to get around this mechanic because one hit is going to take you to 0 health and the next hit is going to kill you. So watch out for that. And as is explained in the tutorial, you can use faultless defense to completely negate chip. But if you don't have meter, or if you just don't want to spend it, do note that you can survive a little bit longer against chip than you might expect. Alright, next up we're going to talk about Roman cancel. So something that was added newly to Strive is now when you Roman cancel an attack, it sends out that shockwave that hits the opponent. And this is nice for new players because it makes it a lot easier to combo off of Roman cancel. The timing required is a lot less tight. But something you need to note is that this shockwave will greatly scale the follow-up combo. So there, that combo did 143. But if instead I cancel the Roman cancel with an attack, before the shockwave can come out, you can see the damage scaling is greatly reduced. I did a lot more damage, 161. If you're a new player, it's not a huge deal. You know, the shockwave is going to make it way easier to combo off it. But if you're really trying to maximize your damage and get everything you can off of every hit, canceling before the shockwave or making the shockwave whiff is really going to save you a lot of damage scaling. So next up, I want to talk about normal throws versus command throws. So this is a situation that I feel like happens to people a lot. You knock the opponent down, you run up to pressure them, and they wake up with throw and hit you. But watch what happens if I do this and then I do a command throw. You can see my command throw just wins because all command throws are throw invincible. So if he's doing a normal throw and I do a command throw, my command throw just straight up wins. And of course this begs the question, what if he does a command throw? What happens if two command throws interact? Well, you can see they're both invincible to throws, so they just whiff through each other. But if you do a delayed command throw, you can beat it because his invincibility is going to run out before mine because he did the command throw first. So just something useful to note and a pretty interesting property that all throws have in this game. Alright, next up, I want to talk about faultless defense. So when you hold two buttons while blocking to do faultless defense, obviously it's a pretty powerful tool. It pushes the opponent back more. It prevents you from taking chip damage. But there is one major downside to faultless defense that you need to consider. So I'll give you an example. If I block Potemkin Mega Fist, Ino can punish it with her crouching kick. Mega Fist is -6 on block, and my crouching kick is 6 frames, so if I time it just right, I can punish. But if I faultless defense, I'm never ever going to be able to punish with this. It's simply not possible, because faultless defense adds 2 frames of extra recovery to your blocking. So be careful when using faultless defense on moves that are punishable on block, because if they're just at the edge of punishable, that extra 2 frames is going to put you out of range, and you are not going to be able to get the punish. So faultless defense is a powerful tool, but know when to use it smartly, and don't give up a big damaging punish that you otherwise could have gotten. Alright, so this last one here at number 7 is not so much a gameplay mechanic as it is like a menu mechanic, but when it comes to recording in training mode, if you don't already know, one of the absolute first things you need to do in training mode in this game is bind buttons to play and record. And then if you're having trouble with something the opponent is doing, like let's say a Leo player doing this, cross up, you can go into training mode, record it, play it back, and try to find an answer. So that is the basics. You need to know that. But here's an extra tip for you. There are multiple training recording slots here. You can cycle through them and you can clear them individually if you want, but you don't have to go into the menu. If you press the record button once to go into standby, and then you press the play button, it will cycle through these different slots. So we have him in slot 1, he is doing the cross up, and we're going to go ahead and record in slot 2, he is going to stay on the same side. And so now if we play this back, he's going to stay on the same side. And here's where it gets really, really good, is that if you go to random, now he is going to randomly switch between going to the other side and staying on the same side. So this is so good for practicing reacting to mix-ups. So you can try to look for things that are going to beat both of his mix-ups here, whether he goes to one side or stays on the other, or just getting good at reacting to mix-ups. Something basic like, is he going to do 2 lows, or is he going to do, on slot 2, we'll do low into dust. And so then you can practice on random, try to react and stand when he does the dust. So responding to mix-ups like this will make you a much better player defensively, and this is honestly just an invaluable tool for getting good using training mode. So with that, we are going to end the video, guys. I hope you found these 7 tips helpful. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys, and be sure to hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be back with lots more informative videos in the future. Thank you for watching, guys.